Hey, what's going on, folks? Chantal here, and today we're going to be going over my top lessons on 10K to 135K online in 14 months. But before we dive into it, I'm going to ask you to kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And you're going to get a copy of this doc underneath this video in the description section, so you can go ahead and make a copy so that you can revert back to it at any stage. So, for those of you who don't know, hello, my name's Chantal Lovell. I actually come from a little country called Zimbabwe out here in Africa. Have a 20-year traditional business background, so actually was involved in a lot of sectors and a lot of different business models over the years, but decided to wind down the companies in 2016 due to very, very harsh economic circumstances out this way, and decided to go and get a traditional 9 to 5 job for my sins. And I say that because it's really difficult to actually start working for someone when you've worked for yourself for so long. But I was made a lot of promises, and at the end of 2019, none of them had come to pass, and actually resigned from that job earning less than $200 a month. So a really difficult and trying time in my life. I actually moved back in with my parents at the tender age of 35 to kind of restart and rebuild my life. So I was kind of in between either starting another traditional business or, kind of considering looking at opening an online business, although I had no clue how to do it at the time. And the pandemic happened. So the decision was kind of made for me, and certainly went down a path of not having any clue how to make this work. You name it, I've tried it in the online space. I tried paid ads for some local companies that we were using here. I tried to kick off a social media marketing company to assist local businesses during the pandemic time and trying to get visibility on their brand and just sustain their businesses as we went through things. I tried done for you programs. I tried ClickFunnels. I mean, you really name it, I tried it. And at the end of 2020, I met someone who was doing incredibly amazing online using high ticket affiliate marketing products and leveraging organic strategies, and knew with certainty that that's the direction I wanted to go with my business. Although I didn't have the money to actually get going with the mastermind at the time because it was $2,500. So I had to become really proactive in trying to generate that sort of money so that I could kick off my business, which was a no-brainer because, any traditional business model I had, the actual capital investment was, 50 grand as a minimum. So to actually come up with 2.5 grand to get a business off the ground made absolute sense to me at the time. So actually started selling shit in my garage, that I no longer needed, and quickly realized that a lot of people around me also didn't need a lot of stuff in their garage, and started selling stuff on commission. And within 2 weeks, actually came up with the money to get going with that mastermind. Incredible foundational steps in my business. I really learned a lot about content strategies, offer creation. I learned a lot about group growth, etc. However, I was really green behind the ears. And it was really, really simple for me to see shiny objects and think that I was going to be able to build something easier and with like a push button system. And I was really sold on all the clickbait where I could go on and make 10K in 30 days, by just copy and pasting other people's business models, which, obviously does not make sense. It's definitely not the way an online business, or any business for that matter, works. It takes an investment, not just a financial investment, but it takes an investment in time and actually applying the things that you're learning to get things in place. So really went on the struggle bus for the next 18 months, to the point where I almost quit my business at the beginning of last year. I really had tried everything and was not getting very good results. And I just thought, God, if I'm not actually going to be able to generate an income and turn it into a profitable, sustainable, and almost repeatable business, I didn't know what I was doing. So I actually circled back to the original owner of the mastermind I started with, which was Super Affiliate Accelerator, the owner being Jacob Karras, who is still one of my mentors today. If you are not following him already, go ahead and give Jacob a follow. He really is a master in his game. And I actually jumped onto a short course of his called Lost Profits, which completely shifted the way I thought about offer creation and asset creation online, and gave me a lot more clarity about what I needed to do to actually kickstart things again and get things on the move, which coincidentally is where I actually met my current coaches, Flip and Nate. I actually saw that Jacob was chatting about the explosion of their business through group growth and monetization. And I'd actually ignored Flip for the better part of a year over my DMs. And because of Jacob's recommendation, actually opened that conversation. And the long and the short of it is I reinvested in my business with Flip Moss and Nate Ryan. Another two you've got to go and give a follow to. They really have been, the biggest instrumental, step I took in my business to actually start to make it work. And without their help, I can guarantee I would not have built a 6-figure business. I invested in their 4-day workshop, Group Juice, which was really about learning the power of content creation and group growth and monetization. And I went on to make 10K in 19 days by making a few tweaks in my strategy and implementing exactly what they were teaching me, and then doubling down on that for the next 14 months to actually create 135K in my business. So it's been an amazing journey, and it certainly takes a lot, but really just wanted to break down the top lessons I've had during that period. So, for me, there's one thing I know with absolute certainty about online entrepreneurship and building your own business. And that is, it's impossible for you to remain who you were when you hit the go button and actually got started. Personally, it's been the most transformational journey of my entire life and career, and not just on a business level either, but in all aspects. Your faith will increase tenfold. Okay, no matter who you are or what you believe in, your faith will definitely get stronger. There's days that the only reason that you're still waking up and grinding is because of your belief system. There's so many ebbs and flows, so many ups and downs and challenges and roadblocks that you actually have to get through. And you grow through a lot of that as well. So when you come out the other side, that it's because of your faith. You learn exactly what you're made of in the process as well. So it's really a journey of self-discovery when you realize your strength and grit and your desire to actually change your life for the better by the daily decisions that you're making. You figure out exactly what your weaknesses are as well. I mean, I knew, without any question that one of my weaknesses is actually my ego. I came into this thinking that with all my traditional business experience, I'd be able to slay this and make that 10K in 30 days. And I was completely humbled because I come from a very transactional background, but this is actually a very transactional, I come from a transactional background, but this is a very relational type business. So, a lot of folks will come into a storefront in a traditional sense and already know what they're purchasing. So you don't even have to create a relationship. Whereas in the online world, you actually have to create a relationship first and the sales are secondary. So your ego will be put to bed really quickly as you start to learn the different skills that you need and become the type of person that can actually go on and sell products and services, etc. online, right? You also you realize the type of human that you are and all the things you're actually vibing with online and the things that you equally don't, right? And you also realize very quickly what your purpose is and what you value, not just in your business, but in life as a whole, right? You start to understand the importance of boundaries. So you'll learn that it's okay to say no and the things you'll say fuck yes to on any given day of the week. Who gets access to you and who doesn't, what you're willing to accept and what you aren't. Every day is going to be a work in motion to living a purposeful life and growing a business that's in core alignment with your own vision and your own terms. So there's countless lessons and takeaways that you experience on the daily. And you're always a story of evolution when you're in this type of business model for the long term. Who you are and what you know changes over periods of time. The person that you were to create your very first dollar online is going to look very, very different to who you're going to be when you make your first $1,000. And it's going to change again as that progresses and scales. You look different at 10K. You look very different at your first six figures. And I have no doubts that will continue to just evolve as you continue to progress in your business as well. The fun part is that it does get simpler with time as well. And notice I said simpler, it's definitely not going to be easy. So here's some of my key lessons from scaling my business from 10K in 19 days to 135K in 14 months. So number one is to stay focused for 12 months. Now, I know that sounds easy, right? But like I mentioned, the first 18 months of my journey was anything but that. It's so simple to go down a rabbit hole of shiny objects and every new trick, hack, and magic pill that's offered to you online. So unfortunately, what that does is not only steer you completely off course, but it's going to leave you confused and will also confuse the fuck out of the audience that you're growing as well. And unfortunately, a confused mind does absolutely nothing. And that's why I pretty much stood in cement for 18 months because I had no clarity on the steps I needed to take each day to create different results. So you can't talk about building funnels and complicated tech for a few weeks and then pop off and talk about zero funnels and no tech, right? There's no congruence in your marketing message of how you can actually help folks solve specific problems and challenges in their world. So once you actually find a specific proven process that works for you and then take it and implement it over and over again for 12 months, you'll start to be known for what it is you can help folks with. Right. So, for example, like I mentioned, I invested in the 4-day workshop Group Juice. okay, which teaches folks how to leverage content creation in groups to build and monetize a personal brand of their own, no matter what it is they sell online, be it physical products, be it digital products, be it consulting and coaching services. No matter what, the process remains the same. So within 19 days of implementing those strategies in my business, I'd made my first 10K online in profit, which gave me a highly simplified, repeatable process to follow. I learned the art of highly leveraged content creation and how that can really bring traffic into your world. Okay, I learned how to humanize conversations in the DMs so that it's not salesy at all. You don't feel sleazy, but you're actually humanizing that process and actually building long-term relationships with folks. Okay, I had deep clarity on how to create my own offers and make them unique to me and stand out so that it doesn't look vanilla in a sea of marketers all over the place. And I really had clarity on how to actually grow a group of my own. And that was all made possible without doing cold DMs. For the first 18 months, I was encouraged to send 50 to 150 cold DMs a day and mass adding friends every single day, which is super frustrating. I don't know if you've ever had one of those cold callers knock on your door to sell you a product. You eventually tell them to go away because it's not actually, they don't even know if what you have is what they need. So by humanizing relationships, you actually eliminate cold DMs and mass adding friends, right? It removed high pressure sales calls. So I really don't like getting on calls for hours every single day. First of all, I don't have the time or the flexibility for it. That's the whole reason I started online in the first place. But secondly, I just don't like the high pressure and arm wrestling people into buying something they don't necessarily need or want, right? It eliminates group poaching. So you don't actually have to go into other people's communities and steal their leads. You don't need viral videos. There's this misconception that you have to be going viral with all of your short form videos to actually get lead generation and to make sales. And it's really not the way that it works. I actually don't get more than about 200 views on every single video I put out there, especially because of geolocation. But it's more about how targeted that messaging is so that you attract people into your world that are just like you, right? And you also won't need, with this strategy, you don't need massive sales teams and setters and closers. You can run a business, a 6-figure business by yourself without actually having to employ anyone or have anybody else on your team. So everything I could help folks with online came down to the process that I was following, giving huge clarity to both me and my audience on what it is I do and how exactly I can help them, right? So I doubled down on what I was doing and stayed focused for no less than 12 months to create a 6-figure per year business, selling multiple products and services of my own, which included my one-to-one 6-month coaching offer, which is for anyone who's making 1 to 3K per month and wants to scale their business up to 10K months, right? I at the time had a 90-day kickstart buyers and support group called Stalker's Lair, which is currently in hibernation, but I actually had that for about 6 months, where anyone who became a high ticket buyer of mine could come in and get my support and feedback and have me in their back pocket to actually help them start getting results in their business. Okay, I have a 10-month intensive Hunters Content Bootcamp, which has just been rolling out in the last sort of 4-week period. And that's really where folks are going to get an unfair advantage by learning every single content strategy that I've used in my business to go on and create 6 figures, alongside my one core affiliate offer, which is Group Juice. It's the one thing that I stand behind because it's the thing that's actually worked for me in my business. And it's not just something, that you buy a thing to sell a thing. It's really, you're going to be learning the strategies to go on and sell whatever you want. Okay, number 2 is your group is going to be one of your biggest assets. Alongside your email, I would say building a group and community of your own is of equal importance as building your email list. When you have a place to house your leads, you can build your relationships at scale and maintain the LTV of your audience and clients. And there's an explosive way to build an ecosystem of your own when you have one place to drive traffic from multiple places. So here you can nurture your audience on a deep level and build a layer of intimacy that you can't do when you're actually just casting your net wide off your profile. So you can, things you can do in your group is run live trainings. You can host interviews with other industry leaders, create guides breaking down process and insights into specific business processes that you use in real time. You can be making offers that are relevant based on what you actually know about your leads. And you can keep engaged with folks that actually vibe with who you are. Side note, okay, content creation and group growth are the 2 keys that unlock 6 figures in my business and will be the very 2 primary keys that take it to 7 figures. Number 3 is you want to keep it simple. Okay, I've been chasing simplicity relentlessly since my online journey started. Firstly, I don't want to work 18 hours, 7 days a week. It's why I had a career change to begin with. I did that shit for 20 years. I wanted the time back and the flexibility back to do more of the things I love with the people that I love. And you can't do that working 18 hours a day, 7 days a week in any business, right? Complexity does not allow for creativity, which is a huge part of owning an online business. Okay. And simple actually sells. People don't want complex, complicated shit. It's confusing, right? So layers of complexity are not a turn on to me in my business. Never enjoyed it in my traditional career either. I didn't want to just keep adding staff, adding processes, adding systems, adding stock. It just makes things so complex and complicated. So what it does is fill up more buckets of time that you could be using to drive more traffic into your world and opening new relationships for sales opportunities. So every layer of complexity you inject strips you of time. I'm not sure about you, but when thinking about having my own business, like I said, time and flexibility to do more of what I love are factors that I'm really chasing. So I only use a handful of tools or automation processes to assist in my day to day. First one being Canva, and that does all of my graphics, which include cover photos, welcome posts, congratulation posts, YouTube thumbnails, Facebook posts, and presentations. I use an app called Captions for my short form videos, and it gives you a catalog of different typefaces and caption styles to use, across your short form video. And the only direct AI tool I have that prepares hashtags and hooks for the videos. And this is only available on iPhone. I use a tool called Group Convert. So this is data capture from your group membership questions to collect your market research and hand raiser questions and build your email list, which directly downloads as a .csv file to add to your email automation. It also gives you the option to automate a welcome message for your members. Okay, I use Aweber. Here it builds my email sequences and daily broadcasts to my leads and clients. And I use TubeBuddy, which I've recently started using as I've kickstarted my YouTube channel. And that helps with all of the SEO for YouTube, so you have a better chance of your content being seen. Okay, number 4 is virality and engagement mean nothing. Okay, a lot of folks worry about how many views, likes, and comments they're getting on their content. I'm guilty of feeling that way at the start. It gives you a serious ego boost when you wake up to thousands of views on a short form video and 80 comments on one of your written posts. But virality and engagement have got zero to do with your sales and conversion process. For example, I actually know of someone local in Zimbabwe who grew her account extremely quickly with trendy videos and normally squeezes out about 100K views and yet does not know how to monetize all of those eyeballs. Mainly because number 1, it's not an ideal target audience, okay? Number 2, the videos are for entertainment purposes and do not solve specific problems. Number 3, she doesn't have goods and services of her own. Okay, so when your content becomes highly leveraged, specific, and targeted, your views are going to be significantly lower. Mine never get over around 200 or 400 views, but the leads are of high quality and are generally folks I can help with my own goods and services, right? Number 5 is not everyone is your person, and that is okay, right? The beauty about building a personal brand is that it pre-sells on who you are. A natural byproduct of that is a big percentage of the folks you attract are going to share similar values and traits as you, making them a dream client to work with because they're just like you, which generally is just previous versions most of the time. But it does not eliminate folks that are not the right fit altogether. You'll still have a percentage of your audience that are looking for different things and solutions in their business. So not everyone will want to commit for a significant amount of time to see lasting results. I can guarantee it. There's a lot of folks out there who are looking for a push button microwave formula, and getting rich, within 30 days. And it's just, I have deep clarity that that doesn't work, but not everyone's going to want to commit 6 to 12 months to actually seeing this process build out. Okay. Not everyone wants to keep it simple. A lot of folks these days like to use AI. They like to use a lot of different funnels and paid ads and things like that. It's just not my vibe at all. It takes away the personal touch. Right? Not everyone wants to build a personal brand. There's a lot of folks out there who would rather just go faceless and sell goods and services without ever being known. So you've got to surrender to the fact that it's going to be much better for your brand to have 100 raving fans who actually love what you do and who you can help, rather than 1,000 folks who buy your products and services who do not vibe with you or what you actually offer at all. Okay. Number 6 is ignore the hate. There is 0% chance that you're going to escape the haters, right? There's always going to be folks out there that project their brokenness on you, always looking at your business and life from a critic's perspective. Sometimes those haters will be closer to home than you think, so you have to get comfortable with that one small fact. I have family members that still think that what I do online is a joke and that it's not a real business. And I've just come to realize I had one piece of solid advice that I've taken along the way, which has really helped, is to not let anyone, okay, be it family, friend, or foe, get cheap seats in your world who you would not change places with for 1 second. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Is to not let anyone, be it family, friend, or foe, get cheap seats in your world who you would not change places with for 1 second. Remember that everything you do is for you, right? And has zero to do with anybody else. Number 7 is fuck up faster. So easy to stand in your own way and stop yourself from experiencing great things. You come to realize very quickly that everything online is a test. Okay, the only way you can get better with your process is to put things in motion so you can get feedback and go on to enhance and optimize things based on what is and isn't working. So create a piece of content that doesn't perform the way you hoped based on your intentional goal. Go and create another piece of content, right? Open a relationship with someone in the DMs that feels strained and isn't moving forward. Open another relationship, right? Make an offer and get ghosted by your lead. Make another offer. So your results are often an accumulation of actions over periods of time. Not everything's going to work. Not every day goes to plan. You will fuck up along the way, guaranteed, but just do it faster, right? Number 8, the same people you started with will not be the ones you finish with. Okay, things change rapidly on a global scale in every area of life. Same goes for online business and entrepreneurship. If I had $10 for everyone that I've seen come and go in my own little piece of the online world, I'd be able to add another 6 figures to my bottom line. No jokes. Okay. Some folks have fallen off completely. They don't even have accounts anymore. Even if you do a search for them online, you cannot find them. Okay. Some go on and do completely different things, whether that be paid ads or crypto or MLM, some folks have just gone a completely different way. Some continue to evolve and stand firm in their process and business model. A handful of folks that I know have also stuck to a process for 12 months and have not wavered. And they've really, evolved and grown in that space in that time. And as you grow and evolve and find your place online, there will be some folks that don't finish the journey with you at all, right? So number 9, highly leveraged content removes all the pressure from your sales process. If you want to eliminate pressure from your sales process altogether and remove things like hour-long sales and strategy calls where you arm wrestle your leads into a purchase because you have to sell them on how you can help them in a short window over a call, then start to stack and leverage content creation on the front end of your business, right? This gives all your leads the opportunity to get to know you on an intimate level. Okay, they'll get to know who you are, what you know, how you can help them, okay, what you value, what your insights are, your process as a whole, your plan, your vision, who specifically you help, and equally as important, who you don't help at all, okay, what you offer, what problems it actually solves, how it's helped you and your clients, and why it's helped you and your clients. Right? If you have content available for folks to binge on, they naturally will sell themselves on you and what you offer long before a business transaction ever even takes place. So that once you segue in the DMs, it's a short conversation back and forth to field any of the questions and to move forward with the next steps. And lastly, number 10, it's absolutely necessary to take lag days, right? Who started their online business to get another job? Okay, definitely not me. And I'm guessing 10 out of 10 folks watching this would say no. For me, it was for time and flexibility to do more of the things I love with the people that matter most. So if you ain't taking days off, what are you actually doing, right? The days off actually give you time to reflect. Okay, you become really reflective on what you're doing, how you're doing it, what's working, what's not working, okay, which gives you creative energy to come back and test and try different things, right? It gives you time off to plan, what your next moves are, what you're going to do in the following week, what your actual goal is with your content and your business. Okay, it's going to make you question, question the type of people you're working with, question your own action steps. It keeps you super accountable to your own business. And you'd be surprised how it increases your productivity once you actually get back behind a screen and your creativity to just step away from the office, right? A success hack for anyone building an online business is to design it around you and not the other way around. So design your schedule to work for you by doing more of the things you love. Attached, I've also added in my 6-figure daily action plan. Okay, it's the exact steps that I take every single day in my business to build it out, and has not changed. I think I revised it once a couple of months ago. Otherwise, I've been following the same process day in and day out for the last 14 months. So that will definitely be a great tool for you to give a little watch as well. But really looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Like I said, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, follow me on my channel. I'm going to be doing these a lot more regularly on the weekly, breaking down insights, strategies, different things that are happening in my business and my world. Look forward to you following along, and we'll chat soon.